Hello, my name is Laura Miller, and I'm with Middle Tennessee State University. Thank you so much for agreeing to be interviewed for about your experience as being a filmographer. The purpose of this interview is for me to gain insight on what it's like to have a career in this field, and your answers will be audio recorded, and the interview would is probably going to take around 10-15 minutes. So let's get started with an easy question. When filming an event, what equipment must always be with you?
Well, I guess that depends on your skill and also what you're filming. I mainly film weddings, so camera, obviously. Um, plenty of batteries. So, never leave home without like four per camera minimum. SD cards and just if you have extra lenses. But aside from that, if you're just getting started, that's all you need. That's all I started with, a $400 camera, memory card, and batteries. There's literally thousands of things you can put on a camera or use with a camera. So, yeah.
Okay. As a filmographer, what has any professional filmographers or photographers influenced your work when you're filming weddings and events?
Um, Not in the beginning. Mine was more or less a favor for a family member. Their videographer dropped out on them, and so I had to step in and do that. And then that just led to a couple of her friends needing wedding videos, and after that, I kind of jumped in and like started watching the popular YouTube channels and things like that, and just talking with friends of mine who did it to get inspiration or just tips and tricks and all that.
So you'd say that working with cameras has been more of a hobby at first and kind of an interest instead of looking at it as a career.
Yeah, so I had actually only had like a drone was my camera, and I went out and bought a camera and like started learning about it and everything to film the wedding. So it was, yeah, I really didn't have any equipment when I got started.
Whenever you're filming a wedding, are there any techniques that come to mind? Something important whenever you're filming an important day like that?
Well, like right there, important day. Weddings are super important because it's not like a commercial or a movie where you can like, you can tell the bride like, "Hey, I didn't get a good shot when you were walking down the aisle. Can you go back and do it again?" So like biggest thing for
Yeah.
me is making a checklist. So like I have like a shot checklist and then I'll do like a personalized list with each client to say like, is there going to be like special pictures, special people, things like that. And that way I don't have to keep it all in my head. I can look down on my piece of paper and say, okay, got that, got that. But yeah, weddings are like a unique monster with that because like you only get one shot at a lot of the filming in that. So you just have to make sure, yeah, you know what you're looking for and just be ready to run.
Whenever you have used cameras and everything, have you had any formal training with filmography or did you teach yourself most of it?
Everything was self-taught from the buttons on my camera to the software that I use was, yep, just learning how to do it.
What type of editing software do you usually use for your wedding videos?
Typically Final Cut, but I'll use like Adobe After Effects if I put in like 3D graphics. Some Premiere Pro, there's just some things that I like on it for other things, but mostly, yeah, Final Cut is the bulk of my editing.
And this is going to be the last question. What details do you believe make a really good wedding video?
So everybody thinks you go out, you buy the $5,000 camera, you got lights, drones, stabilizers, $3,000 lenses. Like that's going to make you make a good video. And I mean, that's the thing, I said earlier, I started with a $400 camera, and that's still one of my favorite wedding videos that I've ever filmed. I think getting to know who you're working with, whether it's a wedding, a commercial, short film, whatever it is, getting to know that client and what they want and being able to cater a unique film for them because you can say I'm going to shoot the same shot for every wedding and then all your videos start looking exactly the same, but if you can tell a story with whatever it is you're filming, like that's more important, whether you've got a phone or that a $5,000 video camera, that doesn't change the way you see it and the shots that you get. So yeah, don't worry about spending a bunch of money. Like, worry about your story first and getting those skills honed rather than just thinking expensive equipment's going to make you a good videographer.
Before the wedding, would you say that you would sit down with the bride and groom and ask them what aesthetic they would like for their wedding video and photos?
Yes, so about a month, or if they want to do it sooner, if they have timelines and things like that laid out, I do sit down with the bride and groom and kind of say, like, what kind of music do you like? What are the decorations going to look like at the wedding? Will there be special people there if, there's a loved one that's passed away? Will there be like a memorial to them? So I kind of have a cheat sheet per se to kind of know what to look for particular things that they envision in their wedding video.
Well, thank you, Chris, for participating in this interview and sharing your wisdom with me. I
No
hope I can
problem.
get you to videographer my wedding someday. If there's anything else you'd like to add, you can call or text me. So
Okay,
thank you
I'll
so
do
much.
it.